Oh, I feel like I've been stuck on a desert island without any Counter-Strike for the last 2 hours, but we are finally back, ladies and gentlemen. I know there's a few of you still sticking around in the Twitch chat, so we do very much appreciate you being here, and hopefully we can present you a good series now. Looking forward to this one. We've spoken about it quite a lot in the pre-show, which, let's be real, felt like eons ago, but it is Invictus Gaming and ViCi Gaming. The battle for second place in China, and the battle for second place indeed for all of Asia, as these two teams are up there. ViCi starting on the CT side of Mirage. It's the map choice of Invictus Gaming.
The winner will have a chance at taking on Tyloo there in the upper bracket, but it all starts now. Jamyoung over towards short, has a nice viewpoint over towards the B site, but those flashes denying him any vision of those entries, and it's going to be Invictus finding B for free. ViCi now have to regroup and go for the 5-on-5 retake.
Jamyoung, definitely one of the key players in this matchup for ViCi. We spoke a lot about him in our pre-show as well. He'll start to lead this retake. Zoking standing next to him. Would trade for Jamyoung, but he's also going to fall. Now Advent, surely not expecting Viva on an angle like that. It's up to Kaze, who hits a pretty quick, sharp shot. And Orman, who now finds himself in a one-on-one. That's clean onto Xiaosage. He'll know that Destroyer's on short. What is that from Orman? What is that movement, Mac?
Just hits him with the jump peak and perfectly shakes his crosshair straight back to his noggin. There you go. ViCi just barely getting that defuse off in time. And Orman, quick 1v2 to start things here for ViCi. And that's a solid round to pick up as well, that CT pistol.
Look, I don't know if I want to call it a little bit too soon, but those were some pretty crisp shots from Orman. And if he is feeling it today, that could actually be what gets ViCi over the line. Now, we've had our reservations and our questions as to what they might be able to do on Mirage. It's been a shocking map, statistically speaking, for ViCi over the last 3 months. Only a 28% win rate, but still a map that they play a lot of.
And if the individuals do have their performances, there is the chance that they can take down Invictus. And that's a solid start to the anti-eco as well. Xiaosage getting knocked down there at A main. As the rest of Invictus are just pretty much prodding all across the map, looking for any entries just off the back of a couple of deagle shots.
I'll say, scout in hand, he's keeping a bit of an eye on underpass. And Oi definitely is playing with fire by staying at top mid when there's a scout headed in his direction. This is a big push from Zoking, and it might actually be required, to be honest, because, well, ViCi have lost a player already. That is a messy spray. While Orman may be on, Zoking certainly doesn't seem to be just yet.
Awkward angle for him to fight at as well, and with the cover of the fence, it was just enough. But Invictus, they've gone for a big rotation, that bomb going all the way to the top of mid now, as we see Destroyer make his way up top of Con. But Advent spots him, takes his noggin off, and it's going to be a 3v3 as ViCi are perfectly positioned to deal with the A-hit.
Yeah, and Orman's caught the bomb already, so that's going to make life even more easy. 37 seconds for Invictus here to go and retrieve that and get into the site. Viva's trying to do what he can with the deagle, and that's not too bad. Zoking down, starting to become a costly round for ViCi, particularly if Advent falls here, but he's sharp, and it's a 2-0 for ViCi. They do lose a couple of guns, though.
Into the third. And Invictus finally on the rifles. Viva with the AWP in hand already. Getting rid of a bit of util there, but still pretty healthy across the board in terms of that utility. 5 smokes, 3 mollies, 4 flashes, and a nade to work with. Utility level is good, Jordan.
Yep.
Whereas ViCi's is great, so we'll see how it goes. As Invictus certainly fighting for a bit of mid control early. Kaze going to be forced off by the flashes. Still got that scout. Good damage already onto flying, though.
It's kind of what you need to be doing. I think with the scout, sometimes we do see players overcommit a little bit, try to really just take those aim duels, but it's more a case of get the shot, back away, find another angle. Continue to be annoying. This damage is significant, even if you're not getting the kills.
The thing is, look how far Zoking's made his way into T-spawn. They spotted the Advent. They have no idea that the second man was here, though. That bomb has been retrieved, and flying might just get away, but Zoking triggered his flip. Oh no, he's chosen to run at them and gets away with 2. The lineup.
Oh.
Oh no, that is a catastrophe coming out for Invictus. But at least they've traded it back and kept it to a 3-on-3.
Honestly, that looked so bad.
Yeah.
Zoking. I don't know how he's even managed to come away with a double kill there. The MP9, I got to say, Zoking, put it away. Get the M4 back in your hands because it's just not looking very pretty at all right now. Orman's done a pretty good job of walking into Palace here as well, so he might even just catch Destroyer off, and it looks like he should get a free kill here. Destroyer bunny hopping up and down, knife in hand. Smoke goes out here for Orman, but he'll be mollied off. Still a strong area of the map to control for a retake, which will be what this inevitably turns into once that bomb plant goes down.
And for default, no one here from ViCi to stop the plant just yet. It is going to be the full retake. Smoke on the middle of sight to get Oi back over into CT. Big flash, allowing this to be brought back to a 2-on-2. Oi, though, overextending, jumping up onto the firebox. Not sure what he was thinking there.
It's been a bit of a weird round, hasn't it? Even Jam Young's death there seemed a bit like soft almost, if there is a way to sort of describe that. Smoke's down here, I think. Kaze's defusing inside of it. Was there? No, there wasn't even a smoke. It must have been the smoke fading. But either way, Orman does a pretty good job of covering him off. And hey, so far, this is kind of turning into the Orman show. Another 3K from Orman, 7-0 after 6 rounds. And good performances from Orman are really quite few and far between. But when you do get them, they are a sight to behold.
Well, that's it. And I do love the Orman show. So let's see how much more he can rack up here in the first half. 7 kills in 3 is a solid beginning. In the round number 4, ViCi, can they get across the line again? And Zoking, obviously, going for that tactical death in the previous round, so he can go for the upgrade here, get himself that M4, and stop running around like an idiot with that MP9. Somehow gets the 2 running kills over towards mid earlier, but ViCi, there it was. It was tactical aggression on the bonus round, and it worked out perfectly. Mid control, again being prioritized for Invictus. But Zoking in a solid position to have locked Destroyer down here. Jumping around Kaze has been heard. Whoop. Goes wide, tries for the flick, but Zoking gets away with Destroyer for free. Viva does not react in time.
So far, so good for ViCi. This is a much better looking ViCi as well. I really like the aggression that we're seeing a little bit from them. That's sort of a little uncharacteristic at times. They can be a little bit more passive and I guess just standard maybe on the CT side is probably a good way of saying it. But this is a ViCi that's quite content to take these aim duels. They seem to be confident today as well. Maybe it's a nice resurgence for ViCi. We've been really hoping to see something like this for the better part of, let's be honest, 3 to 6 months.
Well, it's been a good situation, a well-played round. You know, you get that man advantage, you fall back, you get gifted another one, and
Might
now
be 5 guns alive.
That's it. Flying's down. Kaze false. Didn't have much HP to play with. Advent needs to try to deny the bomb on site. Oi.
That's a nice spot for Advent to get into, actually, by Firebox. He has just completely gamed him. Doesn't really matter, though, because Zoking's hitting his shots now. M4 in hand, 4K. Definitely looking better than the MP9.
Yep.
And it's 4-0. ViCi are off to a cracker of a start. Invictus Gaming going to have to go back down to the Deagles. And look, to be fair, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. It is only 4-0. Invictus, we know, are very good with Deagles as well. So this is not a round that ViCi can really rest on their laurels in.
Jam Young, one of those players, when he can get a Deagle in his hands, especially with the armor, some crazy things can happen. But if Zoking and Orman are continuing to hit their shots like, well, we've seen them so far this map, anything could happen. But look how far Viva has made it up mid. He's all the way into ladder. He's made some noise getting here, though. So let's see how ViCi reacts. Looks like we're going to see the double up at apartments instead. So sticking to their laurels rather than helping out the mid control. ViCi just falling back, giving Invictus a lot of room to play with. But by doing this, obviously they've got the range with the rifles.
Jam Young playing the close range angle, though. So far, Orman not watching the apartments, although he does decide to jump peek, and now Jam Young aware of what's coming. Grenade's going to help him out here. And always going to be a pretty free kill for Jam Young. Doesn't decide to back away just yet, recognizing that if he does, he probably Opens himself up to 1 or 2 angles for Invictus. Smoke goes down at a perfect time, just as Xiao Sage is looking for the trade. And in the meanwhile, Allman's dealt with the 2 players on short. Jamyoung continues to hold in the apartments. I think this is going to be looking like an even better round than the last for ViCi.
Oh, yeah.
I did say they might get away with 5 guns alive in the last. Well, they get away with 5 guns around in this.
5 big kills from B-side players, 2 for Allman, 3 for Jamyoung, and a solid hold there at apartments. What do you know? 5-0, and ViCi, the start that they need to take Mirage, to take down Invictus, which is their map pick currently. Bit of a slow start on the T side, but let's see if they can change that up now that they have rifles again, this time with a bit more utility than the previous gun. Mid control again, window smoke, top mid as well. Molly going towards the boxes. This time ViCi looking like they do want to fight for it. Destroyer straight up short, straight through the smoke. Is fully relying on Kaze missing his shots, but Kaze does not do that too often, so he's going to find one flying. At least able to get Zoking there at the bottom of mid. Overstain is welcome. Now back to a 4-on-4 scenario.
Interesting time for Kaze to fall out of the window. Invictus do look like they want to boost a player up there. So ViCi are going to give them control of that area of the map, and that's not too good at all. ViCi will now lose Kaze. It's pretty much onto Advent here. It's Advent versus Xiao Sage. It's that matchup we spoke about, and this time Advent, the big brain of ViCi Gaming, comes out ahead.
Let's have a look, though, how the rest of the round plays out. So with that palace control, Invictus do have to worry about someone coming in through that flank. So they've moved up on the aggressive, taking that jungle control, which has now been lost. Allman finds flying, focused on the crawl space. Another found now for Viva, back to the 2-on-2, full control of CT here. But Viva playing triple.
Oh,
how's he missed that one? That was a sitter. You know, it's all up to Oy in a 1-on-2 to clutch it. Has the line waiting for a swing.
Oh.
But Allman with a nasty round again, Jordan.
This is Allman's game, and when he is on, he is an absolute terror to deal with. 12-0 now after 6 maps. 6 maps? 6 rounds?
Yep.
Geez, 12-0 after 6 maps would be... I don't know. I mean, would that be good because you haven't died in 6 maps? But you've only got 12 kills, so you probably haven't been doing too much. Either way,
Solid
Allman...
defense, running those clocks down, you know.
He's huge at the moment. Unstoppable, really. And, I mean, this is the kind of form that you need from one of the 3. One of Allman, Zoking, or Kaze to really just run away with the map. And that is what ViCi's doing at the moment. Invictus are looking stunned.
But again, Invictus just sticking it to their game plan of taking this mid control. Wow. There's another entry straight through Con. Advent caught sleeping. No one let him know that Invictus was rushing up Cat again. And from this position, we might see a B-split come through. But what happened before on the pistols, Invictus don't want to relive that again. So
it's pretty interesting here, actually, to see Jamyoung with that secondary AWP. I don't really recall ViCi running a double AWP all that often.
Let's see what he can do with it. The range from Cat to help out. Might be able to stop this player in Con from lurking. But the first point of defense is going to be Destroyer for him. Let's see if he goes that direction. Invictus looking to go for the contact out a main. Zoking at Sandwich is going to be in a very strong position because there's only one player coming out of Pal. That's going to be flying. And if he's not mollied out, this could be a very crucial point of contention on the A side.
Well, they haven't checked Sandwich just yet. Viva's working his way forward, and that's a big kill for Zoking, but he can't double down for the second. Meanwhile, Kaze is mollied off, so unable to trade. It's been a good take so far for Invictus, getting that crucial player out of the picture. Kaze will just wait for this bomb plant to go down. Viva continues to probe towards CT, but now the attention turns toward Connector, which may not be too wise because most of ViCi are filtering through CT spawn. Molly goes on to the site, but it's not going to force any Invictus players away. And Allman He's going to have to do it again. He's going to have to do something special here. It's a 2-on-3 remaining. Smoke potentially go down on the bomb here. Can defuse in that one. I think it might be Kaze that they send to defuse. In fact, it probably has to be Orman because Kaze's on half HP. Defuse is on right now. I think he might get it. Oh, he's just been finished off by ViCi. That was mighty close, though. Invictus do get over the line their first round on the board. But again, it just comes down to a pretty high-pressure situation that ViCi could have just as easily come away with a win in.
It was a really odd position for Kaze to be trying to cover that defuse from. It does not pay off. Invictus, they showed their hand as soon as that smoke went on the bomb. It wasn't even tapped. Everyone started spraying at it. Maybe a bit of chaotic communication, denying them the information. But it is going to be Invictus's first round, so only 5 in the lead now. ViCi looking to win another before their economy is cooked, because it's all over the shop at the moment. Molly at the bottom of con. Invictus just faking the mid control, looking like we are going to see the double back over towards a main. But ViCi just on that Tech 9. In a bit of noise, holding ViCi on this side of the map for now. Here comes the basic old Exy, but ViCi in some solid positions. Oh,
that's a good incendiary as well. Advent's in a great spot. Sage barely even hit him. And all of a sudden, it looks like Invictus might fall away by the wayside in another round. Zoking still here on the site. You've got a player coming through Connector, a player coming through CT, and another still rotating in through mid. Bombs in no man's land. Zoking's fully flashed Destroyer. I don't know if he's intended to do that or if it was just blind luck. Either way, Zoking was blind, and now Orman's been team flashed by Jamyoung. It's all falling to bits for ViCi, isn't it? Such a good string of rounds. 6 in a row. And this one becoming a little more difficult. Now, interestingly, ViCi, you see Invictus exit here, but it looks like ViCi is going to commit. He did have the option of exiting via ramp.
He's taking this bomb very deep towards jungle, and if he goes down, that should be the round. ViCi should capitalize on this one. ViCi, mate, what are you thinking? And Destroyer cannot do a thing. 7 on the board now for ViCi after eliminating everyone. No over-rotations back to the B site. Invictus, maybe if they waited another 10 seconds or so, they could have had another opening. But running into jungle when you have no information of where the counter-terrorists are, that is a very ambitious decision.
Well, you reap what you sow. And ViCi goes to 7. Deagles across the board for Invictus this time. So another good opportunity for ViCi to have just a solid round here to build the money up. Zoking's going to go on a bit of an adventure. I wonder if he's expecting flying. Certainly not going to be expecting Destroyer, so we'll be traded back on down. We'll be not too happy with Kaze there.
Oh, short side boost just to clear out jungle, and Orman may just walk into the trap. Does have the advantageous angle. It looks like he is not going to get his chance to find Destroyer for free. Doesn't go wide enough. More worried about the boost up into window. It looks like that might be just where Invictus are going as well. Oh, catching the timing. Orman with nades in hand. That is not going to be too good. Destroyer going to be stuck in the window all by his lonesome. And that is going to be a man advantage found by ViCi.
Invictus really need to find a way to get ViCi involved in this round. You know, he's got the AK in hand. He's one of the superstars really in this Invictus roster if he gets going. So he needs to be the one to sort of turn this back on its head. Deagles, sure, Sage, Oi definitely can make them work. But it's going to be the AK that's make or break. The issue is I think that ViCi's got the majority of the util here, so he's probably going to be wanting to throw most of that. See how this one pans out for Invictus. Advent is the only player at the moment that's actually watching A. You've still got kind of Kaze there, the AWP, keeping an eye on the Palace line. But if the FAMAS is going to have to take a long-range duel against the AK, that might not work out too kindly. Sage, perhaps a little ambitious in planting that bomb, not covered off. ViCi does roll over Advent, but he'll need 1 or 2 more, and very quickly as well, because time is running out. Kaze not going to miss that one. Now that is 8-1 for ViCi. Not a bad round with 3 guns being taken through.
So I believe Invictus just smoked top con, went out, tried to plant for CT, which wasn't really covered either. So I'm seeing a couple of questionable decisions being made here on the T side, and ViCi are very hardly punishing them. So it's going to be Kaze just AWPing away, continuing to build up the economy. He hasn't got a huge amount of kills on the board, but considering we're 10 rounds deep, he's doing a very good job. But Orman and Zoking are just having a field day at the moment. Invictus changing up the pace and looking like we are going to see them hitting the A site early.
Yeah, and this is potentially a problem for ViCi. They've got no one actually on the site itself. They're not going to be able to stop that. Advent does creep forward to triple behind this smoke, and this could be something Xiaozage is not expecting, but perhaps I've spoken too soon. Orman helping out there, assisting with the flash, apparently. A lot of HP lost for Invictus on the way into the bomb site, but they've gotten the bomb site, they've gotten the plant, they've got a numbers advantage. So this round is hanging in their favor.
Nade doesn't hit the mark. ViCi just biding their time before going back in. Plenty of util to play with here. Xiaozage is going to be playing very close towards the missiles here. And flashed off, but he takes Xiaozage first, so we're back to the 4-on-4 now. ViCi, they're taking a bit too long to get back into the site. There's still 4 players to get past. Flying will fall. Good trade from Destroyer, peeking out and Pal. Jamyoung gets on the bomb with minimal time remaining. I don't know if this is even possible. Kaze is stopping that one. There it is, a retake out of nowhere with half a second remaining. ViCi, how they pulled that one out of the hat.
As soon as he jumps on that bomb, and I looked at the position of the T's, I'm like, there's no way that they're actually going to stop him from defusing this, because he's safe from Tetris, he's safe from ramp. All that had to happen was the guy coming out from Palace had to die, and he's got the defuse. So Kaze, great shot onto whoever it was coming out of Palace. Doesn't really matter at this point. Really doesn't matter who's doing anything on Invictus, does it? It's
Really?
all the ViCi show right now.
That's it. It looks like it was a lack of planning. Bomb could have been planted closer to reverse default, but instead it was on the CT side of it. So misplay again from Invictus seems to be a common theme today. Maybe they just haven't got their head straight at the moment. No. Something seems askew.
Definitely not looking too crash hot for them. ViCi is storming away with this map at the moment. Xiaozage will lead the charge into the A bomb site. It seems Invictus have recognized at least that they're going to be given the bomb site. But ViCi seems quite happy to allow that to happen as well. They're quite comfortable with their own retakes, and the mollies continue to cause problems. That's one thing that I've really liked actually here from ViCi, is that they've not let Invictus get the site for free. It's always cost HP at least. Soaking does miss an important aim duel there, though, against Oi, and that'll make life more difficult here for ViCi.
The thing is, look, there is no utility remaining for Invictus. All it cost was from ViCi was all their mollies positioned perfectly, like literally covering the site, flooding it with flames. And there was no bomb plant after all of that.
Well, it still doesn't seem to matter too much, because ViCi have gone exploring. They're wondering, why isn't there a bomb plant? And so they've been picked off here and there. Just a few angels actually just going the way of Invictus in that round, really, weirdly enough. They've kind of fallen over and died, really, ViCi.
And they did such a good job just with, you know, they made the big brain play of just throwing mollies everywhere. And Invictus come out of this looking like they're going to be taking all 5 players, which is good for the economy. And that's something that Invictus need, is to at least win a couple of rounds here to not only get some rounds on the board for the first half of their map pick, but also try to stabilize this economy, because it has been all over the place. They've just been relying on the round loss bonus. But that's going to take a hit now. ViCi, they will not have... Oh, maybe they'll have the money to buy. Actually, I think they will.
Yeah, Jamyoung saving, Kaze can buy, Advent can buy, Jamyoung can drop. One of either Orman or Zoking's probably going to have to go down to substandard weaponry.
Or at least buy it and drop it to someone else that isn't putting up the numbers, which is probably the play, I'd say.
Yes.
But let's see if Advent throws that M4 across. He does.
Well, yeah, Advent's probably going to be the one that's going to go down to, you know, a FAMAS or an MP9 here. Although we have seen Zoking quite happy to pick up the MP9. It hasn't necessarily worked out for him. It's going to be a FAMAS for Orman, actually. So that's interesting. Maybe feels like he can get the job done regardless. Advent, to be fair, is the sort of the A-site anchor at the moment. He's been very much just sitting in the site, so maybe there is an argument to be made that Invictus have been hitting that site quite a lot, and the extra M4 there could be pretty nice.
So Flying just pushed straight through that Molotov into ladder, gives up his position just to try and gain a better position, but unfortunately has been heard because he's gone extremely loud, cops the nade on the face, and he's down to 15 HP already before he's even seen any of ViCi's players. So again, ViCi, they just have used such good utility every single round to give themselves the biggest advantage, and it's found 9 for them already, but at the moment Invictus, they're starting to fire up. Except, again, not going to be checking their angles. Advent in an off position. Gets the better of Destroyer.
Does just need to be a little bit more chill right now on the A bomb site, though, because if he falls, things get problematic. He does at least have the backup of Orman, who's going to jump up on top of the smoke. Advent's gone through it. Fever's got no idea. The molly's being lined up. Advent might just have to stay hiding in this smoke. I don't like this from ViCi at all, but they might make it work. Invictus had no idea, particularly not that there's 2 players there, and Fever, well, he is going to spam Advent through the smoke. Flying finally gets his man, waits patiently that whole round in ladder room. And all of a sudden, we're back to a 2-on-2. Rotations coming in now from flying through the window.
Kaze just whiffed one of the easiest shots I've ever seen him whiff. It was Viva just not looking at him, just looking at CT, and then he somehow felt the fly-in after missing 1 shot. But flying, look, he's done a good job to get to here with the 15 HP. After all that utility damage, almost isolates one-on-one with Orman, but there's going to be Jam Young coming out of a main to wrap up the round, and that is going to be double digits found by ViCi. Successful retake upgrades to the AK. AWP picked up by Orman as well to drop back over to Kaze, and that is going to be, look, an 8-round lead.
Yeah. How long can they keep getting away with this, ViCi? I wonder. 10-2.
I don't know.
You know, you sort of normally see a good start, and then it starts to get pulled back toward the later stages of the half. But Invictus haven't really showed up at all. Like,
no, so
none of these rounds are looking really that close. The rounds which ViCi have lost are just like, oh, ViCi just died. They're like, so just the Los Angels, and they were caught wandering around the map, maybe a little bit unorthodox positioning from Invictus or something like that. And then the rounds that ViCi have won, it's just like Invictus, maybe they've gotten the bomb down, but the retake's been really easy, or, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, ViCi just seem way more coordinated.
Yeah.
So, good to see that ViCi are coming out of the gates dominant in this matchup on a map where their stats are terrible.
Yeah. But they do play a lot of it.
Yeah.
So that's got to count for something. So far, it is.
Oh, I see Zoking with an MP9 in hand again. This time he hasn't pushed too far, though. But he's close to a main, ready for someone to run towards him. I think MC's trying to tell us something there.
Yeah, look, I didn't really pick up on what it might need to have been. All I saw was him circling DreamHack Open Summer 2020 Asia Stage 2.
I think he was circling the gap that he was watching on the left to drop the smoke.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a nice little tight one so he could fall back as soon as he shot it. Anyway, Kaze, great defense here on the A site. Zoking, solid control of A main. Invictus, they're a little bit too split up. They don't have anyone coming from the A main position, so Zoking won't fall for free. And they're just going to have their way with Invictus again in this round. And that's Orta Oi, who's now left in a 1v5 situation.
Wow, how many times have we had to say that? Look, I wasn't quite paying attention to what MC was doing, but I was doing something relevant, and I was taking a bit of a look at what the distribution of the rounds won was for ViCi on Mirage. Because I was wondering, like, I feel like I've seen them in this position before, you know?
Then it goes crumbling
and then it goes pear-shaped, right? So I was thinking maybe they're really good on the CT side and really bad on the T side. And actually, looking at it, they do get 60% of their rounds on the CT side. It's a pretty hefty margin, actually, considering that this is a map that does tend to sort of lend itself towards almost 50-50s.
I think, yeah, I have seen them in a situation where it's like a 13-2 half and they still somehow lose just because they can't find anything in the second half. Not sure if it's complacency, that's the issue. But look, it is yet another buy round coming up from Invictus, so let's see if they can coordinate this one a bit better than the previous. Anyway, back to what we were discussing before with Zoking. So, it's all about your body position. If you look in a certain direction, your view model, or not your view model rather, your actual character model will be pretty much hidden from the line and you'll still be able to have that pixel gap to spot something.
Right.
Not doing it this time though. More basic, just under balcony. Going to be mollied off by the power player.
Ooh, it's pretty good timing for Zoking there as well. Oh! That's even better. Holds down the spray. Viva doesn't know what's hit him, but it's a few bullets. I'll tell you that much. And well, Zoking's going to have to move now, but the job continues to get easier and easier. Destroyer, he was trying to lurk through the murder hole, and Orman was certainly ready and waiting for it. Now, Oi has managed to get up connector, so he'll be able to get onto the bomb site, but there's so many ViCi players. And the most interesting one at the moment is Advent going down. Oi is causing some problems. Kaze doesn't actually manage to connect that shot. He's going to be overwhelmed. Xiaosage, absolute man. And Orman drops as well. In this meanwhile, Jamyoung, he's come from CT spawn.
So ViCi,
or T-spawn rather.
Seems to be unable to punish Invictus as they run through smokes, but Jamyoung wants to win this in the 1v3 and make this half as convincing as possible.
Has an incendiary and a smoke, and he's going to throw the incendiary into the perfect spot. Flying's going to be forced into his crosshair, but a double peek, well done from Xiaosage. That was, again, just another one where you thought, well, ViCi's in a good spot, and then they lost the round. Victor's pushing through the smoke, and they weren't prepared for it. I think Orman there is the one that, like, okay, Kaze maybe, Pistol out, you don't expect him to do too much, but Orman definitely needs to be getting a trade at least.
Oh, yeah. But with that P250, if he did switch to it a little bit earlier, there was a chance. However, Invictus relying on Oi to open up that site, and he did a pretty good job. See how the half ends now as we do get to the pointy end of half number 1. 15 on the trot. Is it going to be an 11-4 situation? Faster approach Invictus straight out this time, but the counter utility is going to be a little bit too strong. It's a 1-for-2 trade so far. Advent.
Oh, this is dangerous.
Oh,
no. I so thought he was going to do that. Jamyoung just a little bit off on the spray. Maybe he couldn't quite see through the smoke as well as we could. Sometimes it looks a bit different in the server.
Might have thought it was a plant at reverse default. However, ViCi, they have to go for this one. 3v4. It is going to be the last round of the half. Oi coming in from the flank. Spots them making their way out of con. Knows where at least 2 of the players are. Chance for the lineup. Orman crosses over to triple though. And Flying going to be doing God's work here. It's all up to Kaze, but it's too little too late. And we are going to be going to the half. 11-4. Invictus finds some in the end. Ladies and gentlemen, second half coming up shortly. Don't go anywhere.
Thought I was turning a page, yeah. Hey, point an attack, never look back. I'ma go full force. Bodies on bodies and floors. Turn them straight to a corpse. I will not show you remorse. Yeah, I'm a savage, of course. Pull up like 20D, bet we just might shut this thing down. For the one time. Ain't no sunshine. Remember that one guy and that one show with that one crime? Well, that's how I'm feeling now. I'm finna go make a killing now. Yeah, that's how I'm living now. I'm finna bust through the roof right now. Got a handle on the game. Put a candle on my name. Never can put out the flame. Never cared about the fame. Asking my words 'cause the time, yeah. They gotta change their mindset. You say we speaking the same language. Guess I ain't speaking your dialect. Already got it. Already with it. What is the hype about? Already did it. Already seen it. It's already done. What is the hype about? We already won. Already got it. Already with it. What is the hype about? Already did it. Already seen it. It's already done. What is the hype about? We already won. Back to my ways. Back to my ways. Back to my ways. Back to my ways. Truth be told, I'm back to my ways. Back to my ways. I'm back to my ways. Thought I was turning the page. Hey, I'm back to my ways. Back, babe, Ruth. Prayer hands like Jesus. All praise the most high. Look, I ain't talking about K2. Take your girl, I hate you. This right here, my prelude. I created this sound, all y'all buying, gotta call pay dues. They show me love when they see me. Don't really know if they mean it though. I know your man wanna be me, but now he would never admit it though. Why is your girl in my inbox? One text and I seal the deal. I hit her up when I'm faded. You better bet she know the deal. Already got it. Already with it. What is the hype about? Already did it. Already seen it. It's already done. What is the hype about? We already won. Already got it. Already with it. What is the hype about? Already did it. Already seen it. It's already done. What is the hype about? We already won.
our bridges have been burned. I hope you're happy on your own, time and time again. I want you let me down. You think it's all a game. Now you're playing. You got to know. You got to know. I will be okay. You got to know. You got to know. Oh, I'm fight. I'm gonna for you. I won't stop fighting. Take what's mine.
Eleven to 4, the scoreline. ViCi coming out with the goods on Mirage. We definitely were concerned about seeing Mirage in the pool after recognizing that ViCi's statistics on the map are not too good. Now, as good as that first half was for ViCi, you all in chat and everyone's getting excited. You're probably watching this going, ViCi's got an easy win here. Do not count your chickens before they hatch, because we have seen this before.
Oh, yeah.
And ViCi have found ways to bungle scorelines like this on Mirage. I would definitely not be saying at this point that ViCi is going to win this map. It could still go the way of Invictus. Pistol round in this second half, very, very important for ViCi to get off on the right foot.
Oh, but look at this. It's the double push into A main as well, so that's not going to spot both the power players, and this fake at B hasn't worked either. So Invictus, they don't need to move a muscle. With full A main control, they can play for the retake. Zoking finds the timing as he looks back towards A main, but they will not expect the second man here. Surely Viva will be able to come back through, not able to deny the bomb plant as he's staying silent. It's just going to be Invictus playing for the retake.
And Jamyoung might actually get... Oh, he got the information on Viva. That's a huge kill to find. I almost feel like ViCi's gotten a little bit too tricky for themselves here in this pistol. They've tried to do something really fancy, but it seems to be starting to work out. End of the day, they do just need to hit their shots and they will get over the line. Oi in connector now. Orman! Oh, it's messy. It's all gone wrong. Jamyoung, though, that's okay. He's saving the day. 3 kills, and Soking and Jamyoung can now play the crossfire 2-on-1. Oi has to work his way out. Soking, don't take that aim, Jewel. Jamyoung's going to commit to it, though, and that leaves Soking high and dry, but it's okay because he hits the headshot. 12 to 4. ViCi were going to win anyway. Bomb was ticking very quickly indeed. Whew, what a pistol round.
8-round lead. Many, many elements to that pistol round, which all kind of didn't work out for ViCi, but then it just comes back to the aim and them looking in the right direction most of the time. The fact that Jamyoung is still expecting a second player towards A main is just, you know, another level of intelligence. Let's see what Invictus can do, as they have opted to go for the force buy, so danger territory, but they know, they realize they have to get back into the game sooner rather than later. Mirage is going to slip away, and then it will be going to Nuke, which is ViCi's map pick. And in the form, which is what we're seeing them in right now, I'm worried for Invictus. I said I don't think this can be a 2-0 scenario, but it certainly looks like it might right now.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, if ViCi if they take this into the second map, but we say that all the time, you know, you see a scoreline like this, and you go into the second map, and it just completely turns on its head. So I really wouldn't count it out just yet, even with the Deagles right now. Invictus are starting to turn this around.
Oh, no.
It's a 1-on-2 again. Jamyoung has to be that consistent player, but this is where he does his best work, in his clutches. He's gone and had a look into the apartment just to make sure there's nothing going on there. He recognizes there's no one there, now has the bomb.
Thing is, Flying has spotted him, has his number, but now they've both realized where each other are.
You see Jamyoung miss those first couple of shots and you think, oh no. But he does get it done for ViCi. They're up to 13. Invictus is making this close. Even the pistol, the anti-force, the force, whatever you want to call it, both of those rounds.
The thing is, at this point as well, Invictus, that round loss bonus is just improving. And they realize that only one was alive for ViCi, so that's another costly round. The bomb didn't go down, so there's no extra money in the bank. And ViCi's buy, again, is going to be lackluster. So let's see what happens here. Invictus, because they've realized that, they've gone for some upgraded pistols. No armor. So they are just looking to cause extra damage. 3-man stack towards the A site. Proactive search at short, at least. Asage is going to be clearing out mid. Or just holding an angle or two. But it's going to be the full XE on A.
Well, so King does die to flying. Deagle 2 taps to the body. Some might say that's overpowered, but either way, doesn't look like it's going to be a problem here for ViCi. The rest of Invictus falling without too much pizzazz just yet. Oi is going to go through the smoke, and it's Xiaosage actually that gets punished for it.
Ooh. Oi, just looking to fight his way back into the round. 1v3, 1 head already found. Just 2 more to go. But ViCi play that nicely, just facing together, making sure that they can trade it out, even if one of them did fall. It was another costly round, but now ViCi just 2 away from the win.
What a second half this has been so far from Jamyoung. He came in at negative. He was like 7 and 8 or something like that, and he's just basically picked up 3 kills a round for the last 3 rounds. Yeah, he must have been on. He must have been on like 10 kills. He must have been like 10 and 8 or 10 and 7 or something like that.
He's on fire. So just excelling on the offense. Now we are going to see Invictus go for a more aggressive play through underpass this time. 2-man setup, and ViCi not ready for it, it seems. This is like the hard counter for this setup as well. It's a fast rotation back to the B site. 4 players all on this side of the map. Invictus, they've done their homework, and that's going to kick things off nicely. Orman trading it out with the Molotov, trying to make their way back in. Xiaosage, they know where he's playing, but in comes that flank. Both the players are going to be spotted and dealt with, and the round again is going to be turned on its head.
It's the kind of thing where, again, it just looks like Invictus should win the round, but ViCi is out-aiming them. At the end of the day, when the duels don't go your way, you can't win the round. Orman even did Invictus the absolute service of killing Zoking with his molly.
That's crazy. The fact that Invictus counter-stratted, counterplayed, had the perfect setup to deal with ViCi, and then still didn't manage to win the engagement on site is completely ridiculous. And flying, he's searching, he's cleared the back of Apps, he's hot on the heels of ViCi, but still he's got a long distance to cover. Molly at Pal just for safe keeps it. Then bomb's going to be planted for CT. Surely we just see the 2-man setup. ViCi playing this to win it, and that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah. No aggressive over-eager peaks. Flying maybe still in the wheelhouse here. He's got a HE in it. I'm not sure that he'll be getting too much luck with that one. He's just going to take the peak here. And Kaze is good enough to do it himself. 20 HP he survives on. ViCi go up to map point. It's 15-4, and what an utter demolition of Mirage this has been.
Well, we were saying that this map could have been as one-sided as earlier, and it has been, but not in the favor which we expected. And right here, right now, is when ViCi, they draw that stake out, and they drive it through the heart of Invictus. Just a couple of Eagles. Some lackluster weaponry, prioritizing a whole bunch of utility, but even so, Invictus, they're looking to fight for mid-control here, and that is not how you want to start it. Viva, not even going to be spotted in the smoke. Zoking hits him dry. Oh, and that's another push coming through. Advent has his number. Great anti-eco positions coming out so far from ViCi. That's going to be a 2-man advantage already. Certainly, we're just going to see an Exi. We're just going to see the pushing together, trade this one out, and Invictus, I think it's done and dusted for them now.
I think so as well, Mac. I really don't know what has happened to Invictus on this map, but they have just not turned up at all. Zoking and Jamyoung do go down, and oi! Oh, hang on! This might be a 2-on-5. Orman, where is he? He's in jungle. They won't expect him from here. No way at all. The bomb is planted perfectly for him. Still a winnable round. Xiaosage is keeping an eye on it, but Orman starts to creep his way forward. He gets the timing. Oi on 10 HP, and this should be fairly routine for Orman. He just needs to peek that bomb, make sure that the defuse doesn't happen, and, well, he might have overcommitted a little bit there, but that's okay. Don't worry. Round's over. Game is over. Defuse is not going to be possible now for Oi. He's sticking it, but Orman makes it look easy. 16-4 the scoreline, and ViCi pick up Invictus's map choice. I don't really know what to say about it. So hopefully the fellows on the analyst desk do when we come back.